everyone, welcome to Gusto News on Gusto TV Africa. My name is Imoa, and yes, on today's news we have Big Wiz and we also have Samklef, Wizkid and also Banky W, and I'll be rounding up the news with Davido. But before going on to what we have for you on the news today, I want to say thank you for all you do for us here on the channel. We see all of it and we really do appreciate you. And also, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, guys, please do not forget to subscribe, and also do not forget to click on the post notification bell so as to know when we drop new content and new videos for you. All right, starting off the news, we have Wizkid. Yes, Big Wiz has been in the news for a whole lot, Let's talk about the whole issue with Banky W and all of that. But then we're going to be focusing on the shows Wizkid would be having, very soon. Let's start out with the Accor Arena that he's going to be shutting down in September 16th in Paris. When he actually, announced the fact that he's going to be going on this particular tour, and he released the ticket, like people really rushed the GOAT section of this particular one. Like it was actually sold out in 3 minutes. Like I said, like I always say, like Wizkid keeps doing, what makes him Big Wiz. And also the fact that he's going to be at the Let's Get Free, a conscious carnival that's going to be happening very soon from August 20 to 21. Yes, and it's actually going to be performing on August 20. But then that's not why we have Wizkid on the news today. We have Wizkid on the news today because of the Rolling Loud Toronto event that is going to be happening very soon, and Wizkid is going to be headlining this particular one, and it's actually going to be performing on September 11. Like I said, this is actually like a very big bragging right for the FC, and they've been talking about the fact that okay, Wizkid is going to be headlining this particular event with some international acts, and like that's a very big win for Afrobeat. And also the fact that Wizkid made an announcement on his Instagram story. He says Afro niggas $1 million to pop out, and people are like, okay, chill. Did Rolling Loud actually pay Wizkid $1 million to actually perform at the event? And people have been talking about the $1 million is actually 600 million naira if you change it to naira. But then a whole lot of people have come out to say Wizkid is actually trying to shade Burna Boy, and also Wizkid is actually trying to shade Davido. We all know that Burna Boy came out to say he is the highest paid African artist. So Wizkid coming out to say he was paid 600 million to actually perform at this event is actually like Wizkid actually shading Burna Boy, because Wizkid never comes out to talk about things like this. So why is Wizkid actually talking about it right now? So people are saying this is not Wizkid actually being matured, or Wizkid has never been matured. Actually, they're saying this is Wizkid actually being petty. And we also know that now Davido made, and he actually responded to someone on Instagram saying he actually paid $1 million to perform at the FIFA event that happened recently. And people are like, okay, after Davido actually came out to say he was paid $1 million, Wizkid is also coming out to say he was paid $1 million to perform at the Rolling Loud event. So people are also saying this is Wizkid trying to shade Burna Boy and also trying to shade Davido. Like I said, Wizkid never comes out to talk about all of this, but then why is he coming out to talk about it right now? So yeah, there are talks that Wizkid is just trying to be petty and has never been matured. All right, guys, so away from Wizkid, we have Samklef. Yes, is actually a producer, but this guy has been in the news recently after the interview Banky W had with Ebuka, and mentioned the fact that okay, there was supposed to be a 5-record deal, but then Wizkid went ahead to give him just 2 records. Then Samklef felt it was the time to actually drag Banky W. He started off by telling Banky W, he started off by asking Banky W why he has not been receiving royalties for the song Bakoromo as the composer for that one. And Banky W came out to say he doesn't have an idea about that one, that himself and EME do not have anything to do with that actually, that he should speak to Wizkid. So I think there was like a whole lot of back and forth, but Samklef is actually back right now to drag Banky W, and also has reached out to Wizkid to know why his name was actually removed from that one. So yes, we're going to be reading some of the tweets for Samklef. All right, so he said, you all remember Banky W told me to drag Wizkid based on my publishing and royalties for the past 11 years. After consulting with my team of lawyers, I have been told to drag Banky W, not Wizkid, because the album was released under EME. And people are like, okay, your lawyers are actually supposed to be serving Banky W's papers to actually appear in court, or to actually have a sit down to see how they can actually work this out. But then you're coming out to say your lawyers actually has asked you to drag Banky W. Which reasonable lawyer is going to ask you to drag Banky W or drag a record label when they actually know the right things to do? He also went ahead to say, so I will give him 6 days to provide me both his lawyers and Wizkid's lawyers' emails. Samklef's open courthouse. If he sold the album out, I would like to know before next week. Don't play with me. So Samklef is actually telling Banky W not to play with him, actually to not play with him and see that he gets his royalties for that particular one. Then it seems Banky W did not respond. He also now went ahead to tag Wizkid, because he said he's tagging Wizkid actually openly because he knows Wizkid would not respond to DMs. And he says, dear at Wizkid Ayo, remember we were brothers before anything. At Banky W say you come up my name from Backroom Publishing and also know about it all. My 11 years royalty, and now you give Sony Music and Sony Music Africa. Let's fix this in peace. Him say make I pour my anger to you. So this is Samklef actually coming up to rant about the fact that he has not gotten his royalties for 11 years, and people are actually coming out to drag him like, okay, why are you talking about this right now? Is it because Wizkid is actually doing very well? But at some point we're actually out there dragging this particular one, and people are just telling him to just stay where he is and leave Banky W and also leave Wizkid out of his drama. All right guys, so lastly on the news we have Davido. Obio is always in the news. Even if he doesn't want to be in the news, people find a way to drag this guy into the news. We all know that Obio is going to be shutting down North America for his Rise by Lifting Order store, and also the fact that he has actually sold out the Toronto location for this particular one. And also he's going to be performing at the Something in the Water event that's going to be happening on June 10th, and going to be performing at this event with a good. But then that's not why we have Obio in the news today. People or someone on Twitter came out to say no artist has ever mentioned that Davido actually inspired them, and a whole lot of 30BG fans actually on Twitter did not this one did not actually sit down well with them, and they actually came out to talk and post receipts of people who have actually come out to say Davido actually inspired them one way or the other to do music. So this person, Machala Jr., obviously an FC fan, says, I have never seen any upcoming artist say Davido inspired me. Never ever. Like I said, this particular one did not sit well with a whole lot of 30BG fans, and they actually decided to come prove this guy wrong. And this one says, Davido wasn't born poor, so how is he supposed to inspire people with poverty mentality? So he's actually coming out to say, if you want to thrive in the industry, you need to literally have a grass to grace kind of story, and Davido did not have that kind of story. So people always never want to give him his flowers. All right, this one says, Low MTV Base USA asked Rema which artist inspired him, and he mentioned Davido first before anybody else mentioned Burna. Before anyone else mentioned Burna too. Video day if you need proof. Same with Fireboy. He had an interview with Hip TV. So yes, this person is saying Rema and Fireboy actually came on interviews to say Davido actually inspired them in some way to do music. And these are actually receipts of when Rema actually came out to celebrate Davido on Twitter, and also when Oxlade said Davido drove him to do music. He was actually referring to Davido's Jeep, but then he's actually saying Davido actually drove him to do music. He said when he saw Davido's Jeep, he told himself that, man, he is definitely going to make it in life. Now this person says Davido has no grace to grass story, so not every artist can relate to that. This your take isn't even necessary at all. Like I said, for you to thrive in this industry, you need to have like a grass to grace kind of story. If you don't have it, people will not really give you your flowers. Let's even talk about Copy. Copy doesn't really receive her flowers because they feel like, okay, she's actually using her father's money to literally get whatever she wants, and they keep saying she's not good at DJing and she's also not a very good artist. All right guys, so with Davido, I'll be rounding up the news for today. Tell us what you think about the news in the comment section, and we'll be in the comment section as always responding to some of your comments, if not all. We'll see all you do for us here on the channel, and we really do appreciate you. Bye for now. My name is Emma.